Stop scrolling for 1 second. Because if you're over 60, this could be the most important video you watch today. Let me ask you something. Do you get out of breath just walking up a few stairs? Do you feel tired after simple, everyday tasks that used to feel easy? Most people brush it off. They say, it's just old age. But here's the truth nobody tells you. It's not just age. In many cases, it's something much simpler. It's a small, everyday habit. A habit so common, so normal, that you probably don't even notice you're doing it. And that habit is slowly, quietly damaging your lungs every single day. Just last week, a 65-year-old patient walked into my clinic. She looked healthy. She wasn't a smoker. She ate well, but she told me, "Doctor, I feel like I can't breathe properly anymore." And when we talked, I found out she'd been doing one simple thing every single day for years without even realizing the damage it was causing. Today, I'm going to show you 6 of these hidden habits. Things you probably do without a second thought. Things that seem harmless. But over time, they can quietly weaken your lungs, make you feel tired faster, and steal your energy without you even knowing why. And here's the one I really want you to pay attention to. Number 4. Because this one shocked me the most. It's something almost everyone does every single day. Even I used to do it. And once you hear it, you're going to look at your daily routine completely differently. But don't worry, this video isn't here to scare you. It's here to help you. Because once you know what's hurting your lungs, you can start protecting them. Starting today. Starting right now. So if you care about breathing easier, feeling stronger, and staying active for years to come, stay with me till the end. Because I'm also going to share 2 simple things you can start doing today. Things that take less than 5 minutes to help protect your lungs and your health. So take a deep breath and let's get started. Hi, welcome back to the channel. Every week, I share simple, easy to understand health tips, especially for people who want to stay strong, active, and independent as they get older. Let's start with number 1. And this one is so common, most people don't even know they're doing it. It's called shallow breathing. And it's usually caused by something even simpler, poor posture. Here's what happens. As we get older, many of us start slouching without realizing it. Maybe you're sitting on the couch, watching TV, shoulders curled forward. Maybe you're at the dinner table, hunched over your plate. It feels comfortable. It feels normal. But that slouch position is quietly squeezing your lungs. Think of your lungs like a balloon. If you scrunch up a balloon and try to blow air into it, it can't fully expand, right? That's exactly what happens to your lungs when you slouch. They can't fully open up. So instead of taking deep, full breaths, your body starts taking short, shallow ones, using only a small part of your lung capacity. Over time, this becomes a habit. Your body simply forgets how to breathe deeply. And that means less oxygen reaching your blood, your brain, and your muscles. That's often why people feel tired, foggy, or low on energy, and they never connect it back to something as simple as posture. Let me give you a real example. Think about how you sit right now, watching this video. Are your shoulders rolled forward? Is your chin dropping down toward your chest? If yes, you're probably breathing shallow right now, without even noticing. So here's your simple fix. Several times a day, sit up straight, roll your shoulders back, and take one slow, deep breath, all the way down into your belly, not just your chest. Hold it for 2 seconds, then breathe out slowly. Just doing this for 1 minute, a few times a day, can help retrain your lungs to breathe fully again. If you just realize you're sitting hunched over right now, comment 1 below. Let's see how many of us are guilty of this. Now, let's move to number 2, and this one might be hiding in your own living room. Number 2 might surprise you because it's not about outside pollution. It's about the air inside your own home. Most people think air pollution only happens outdoors, traffic, factories, smoke in the city. But here's something most people don't realize. The air inside your home can actually be more polluted than the air outside. And for your lungs, that's a real problem because you breathe that indoor air for hours every single day. So, where does this pollution come from? A few common sources. Cooking smoke, especially if your kitchen doesn't have good ventilation. Burning incense sticks or candles regularly. strong cleaning sprays, and chemical air fresheners. And of course, cigarette smoke, even secondhand smoke from someone else in the house. Here's why this matters so much after 60. Your lungs naturally become a little more sensitive as you age. Tiny airways that used to easily clear out dust and smoke don't work quite as efficiently anymore. So things that maybe didn't bother you much at 30 or 40 can now cause real irritation, coughing, and long-term lung stress. Let me give you a simple example. Think about your kitchen. If you cook daily without opening a window or turning on the exhaust fan, that smoke and those fumes are building up in your lungs, meal after meal, day after day. It seems harmless in the moment, but over months and years, it adds up. Or think about incense sticks. Many people burn them daily, maybe for prayer or just because they enjoy the smell. But burning incense indoors, especially in a closed room, releases fine particles into the air. Particles small enough to reach deep into your lungs. So what's the fix? It's actually simple. First, always open a window or turn on your exhaust fan while cooking. Just a few minutes of fresh airflow makes a big difference. Second, if you enjoy incense or candles, try to burn them in a well-ventilated space or cut down how often you use them. And third, switch strong chemical cleaning sprays for more natural alternatives when you can. Even something as simple as vinegar and water works for most surfaces. Small changes like these don't cost much, and they don't take much effort, but they can seriously reduce the daily strain on your lungs. If you burn incense or candles at home regularly, comment 2 below. I'd love to know how common this is. Now, let's move to number 3, because what you do or don't do with your body plays a bigger role in your lung health than most people realize. Number 3 is something you probably heard before, but maybe not in connection with your lungs. It's a lack of physical activity. Most people think exercise is only about the heart, or about staying fit and losing weight. But your lungs need movement too. And when you sit for long hours, day after day, your lungs quietly start losing capacity without you ever feeling it happen. Here's the simple science behind it. When you move your body, even something as simple as walking, your breathing naturally becomes deeper and faster. This forces your lungs to fully expand and contract, using their full capacity. But when you're sitting for hours, your breathing stays shallow and slow. Over time, your lungs get used to doing less work. And just like a muscle that isn't used, they slowly become weaker. This is especially true after 60. Many people naturally become less active as they get older. Maybe the knees hurt a little. Maybe there's less energy to go for a walk. Maybe daily routines just involve a lot more sitting, watching TV, reading, resting. It feels understandable. But this reduced movement is one of the biggest hidden reasons lung strength declines with age. Let me paint a picture. Think about someone who used to walk to the market every day, but now mostly stays home and has groceries delivered. It seems like a small change, but over months, their lungs are doing far less work than before. And one day, they try to climb a few stairs, and suddenly they're out of breath. It feels sudden, but really, it builds up slowly over time. So what's the fix? You don't need intense exercise. You don't need a gym. Something as simple as a 15 to 20-minute walk most days of the week can make a real difference. If walking is difficult, even gentle movement indoors, like standing up and stretching every hour or doing a few slow laps around your living room, helps keep your lungs active. The key isn't intensity, it's consistency. Your lungs simply need regular movement to stay strong. Even a little, done daily, is far more powerful than a lot, done rarely. If you've noticed you're sitting a lot more than you used to, comment 3 below. You're definitely not alone. Now, let's move to number 4, the one I mentioned at the very beginning. And this one is important, because ignoring it could be more serious than you think. And here we are, number 4, the one I told you about at the beginning of this video, the one that surprised me the most. And once I explain it, I think it might surprise you too. Number 4 is this: ignoring mild breathlessness. Here's what I mean. Maybe you've noticed you get a little out of breath climbing the stairs now, or walking a bit faster than usual leaves you needing a moment to catch your breath, or even just carrying grocery bags from the car feels a bit more tiring than it used to. And what do most people do? They brush it off. They say, I'm just getting older, or I'm just a little out of shape. It feels harmless. It feels normal. So they ignore it and life goes on. But here's the truth almost nobody tells you. Mild breathlessness is often your body's very first warning sign. It's your lungs and your heart quietly telling you that something needs attention long before anything becomes serious. And when that warning sign gets ignored again and again, month after month, small problems can slowly turn into much bigger ones. This is exactly why I said number 4 might surprise you, because it's not a habit like smoking or sitting too much. It's something even more common. It's simply not paying attention. It's assuming that feeling a little breathless is just a normal part of aging, when very often it's not something to just accept. It's something to notice. Let me give you a real example. Remember the patient I mentioned earlier? She told me she'd been getting breathless for almost 2 years. She just assumed it was age. She never mentioned it to anyone, never got it checked. By the time she came to see me, what could have been caught early had already become a much bigger concern. This doesn't mean every little huff and puff is dangerous. Getting breathless after climbing 5 flights of stairs quickly? Normal. But if you're noticing breathlessness during activities that used to feel easy, if it's happening more often, if it's getting even a little worse over weeks or months, that's your sign to pay attention. So here's the fix. Start noticing. Keep a simple mental note, or even write it down, of when you feel breathless and how often. And if you notice it happening more, or during everyday tasks that used to feel easy, don't just brush it off. Please go see a doctor. Catching something early almost always makes it easier to manage. This is the one point in this video I want you to take most seriously, not to scare you, but because catching it early can make all the difference. If this is something you've been quietly ignoring, comment for below, and maybe today is the day you decide to get it checked. Number 5 is something most people never connect to their lungs at all, and that's dehydration. When we think about drinking water, we usually think about our skin, our kidneys, maybe our energy levels, but very few people realize that water plays a direct role in how well your lungs work too. Here's the simple science. The airways inside your lungs are lined with a thin layer of moisture. This moisture helps keep the airways smooth and flexible, and helps your lungs clear out dust, germs, and irritants naturally. But when your body doesn't get enough water, that moisture layer gets thinner and drier. Your airways can start to feel tighter. Mucus can become thicker and harder to clear. And your lungs simply have to work harder to do the same job they normally do with ease. This becomes even more important after 60, because our sense of thirst naturally weakens with age. You might actually be dehydrated without ever feeling thirsty. Many older adults go through most of the day without realizing they haven't had enough water. Not because they're ignoring it, but because their body simply isn't sending a strong thirst signal anymore. Let me give you a simple example. Think about a day when you only had 1 or 2 cups of tea, maybe a bit of water with meals, and nothing else. It doesn't feel like a big deal in the moment, but by evening, you might notice your throat feels drier, you're coughing a little more, or you just feel more tired than usual. That's often dehydration quietly affecting your lungs and your whole body, without you connecting the dots. So what's the fix? It's simple, but it needs to become a habit, not just something you do when you remember. Try to drink small amounts of water throughout the day, rather than waiting until you feel thirsty. A useful trick many of my patients use is keeping a water bottle somewhere visible, on the kitchen counter, next to your favorite chair, as a simple visual reminder. And if plain water feels boring, herbal tea or water with a little lemon counts too. You don't need to force down large amounts all at once. Just steady, regular sips throughout the day keep that important moisture layer in your lungs working the way it should. If you often go hours without drinking water and don't even realize it, comment 5 below. Now, let's move to our final point, number 6, and this one might affect you every single night without you even knowing it. And here we are, number 6, the final one on our list. And this one is important because it might be affecting you every single night while you're fast asleep. Let's talk about how you sleep and something called sleep apnea. Here's what happens. During deep sleep, the muscles in your throat naturally relax. For most people, this isn't a problem. But for some people, Especially as we get older, this relaxation causes the airway to partially or fully block for a few seconds at a time. This means the body briefly stops getting enough oxygen, again and again, throughout the night, without the person ever fully waking up or even realizing it happening. This is called sleep apnea, and it's far more common after 60 than most people think. Here's why it matters so much for your lungs. Every time your breathing pauses during sleep, your lungs and your whole body are being deprived of oxygen, even if just briefly. Over months and years, this repeated oxygen shortage puts real stress on your lungs, your heart, and your overall health. Yet because it happens while you're asleep, most people have absolutely no idea it's occurring. So how would you even know? Here are a few common signs. Loud, heavy snoring. Waking up gasping or choking. Feeling extremely tired during the day, even after a full night's sleep. Waking up with a dry mouth or a headache. If any of these sound familiar, it's worth paying attention to. Let me give you a simple example. Think about someone who sleeps a full 8 hours every night, but still wakes up feeling exhausted day after day. They assume it's just poor sleep quality or getting older, but often it's their breathing being interrupted throughout the night, without them ever knowing it happened. Sleep position matters too. Sleeping flat on your back can sometimes make airway blockage more likely, especially for people already at risk. Sleeping on your side is often gentler on your airway and can reduce these interruptions. So here's the fix. First, try adjusting your sleep position. Side sleeping is generally a safer starting point. Second, and most importantly, if you or someone close to you notices loud snoring, gasping during sleep, or constant daytime tiredness, please don't ignore it. Mention it to a doctor. Sleep apnea is very manageable once it's identified, but it has to be identified first. If you or someone in your family snores loudly or wakes up tired often, comment 6 below. All right, those are all 6 things that could be quietly damaging your lungs after 60. Now, let's quickly recap everything, and I'll share those 2 simple tips I promised you at the beginning. Okay, let's quickly bring it all together. We covered a lot, so let's do a fast recap of the 6 things that could be quietly damaging your lungs after 60. Number 1, shallow breathing and poor posture. Slouching squeezes your lungs and stops them from fully expanding. Fix. Sit up straight and take a few slow, deep belly breaths throughout the day. Number 2, indoor air pollution. Cooking smoke, incense candles, and chemical sprays can quietly irritate your lungs at home. Fix. Open a window or use your exhaust fan while cooking, and cut down on strong indoor smoke or fumes. Number 3, lack of physical activity. Sitting too much weakens your lungs over time, just like an unused muscle. Fix. A simple 15 to 20-minute walk most days keeps your lungs active and strong. Number 4, ignoring mild breathlessness. This is often your body's earliest warning sign, and it's easy to brush off as just getting older. Fix. Pay attention, and if it's happening more often or during easy tasks, get it checked by a doctor. Number 5, dehydration. Not drinking enough water dries out the moisture layer in your airways, making your lungs work harder. Fix. Sip water steadily throughout the day, rather than waiting until you feel thirsty. And number 6, poor sleep position and sleep apnea. Interrupted breathing during sleep quietly stresses your lungs and heart, often without you ever knowing. Fix. Try side sleeping, and don't ignore loud snoring or constant daytime tiredness. Now, as promised, here are 2 simple things you can start doing today to protect your lungs. The first one is deep breathing exercises. Just 2 minutes a day. Sit up straight, breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 2 seconds. Then breathe out slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat this 5 times. It takes less than 2 minutes, but done daily, it helps keep your lungs strong and fully working. The second one is simply this. Start listening to your body. Don't brush off small changes as just aging. If you're more breathless than usual, more tired than usual, or your sleep doesn't feel restful, don't ignore it. Mention it to your doctor. Catching small changes early is always easier than dealing with bigger problems later. That's it. 6 simple habits and 2 simple fixes. None of this requires anything complicated. No special equipment, no expensive treatments. Just a little awareness and a few small daily changes. Your lungs have carried you through every single breath of your life so far. They deserve a little attention in return. Before you go, I want to say something from the heart. Getting older doesn't mean you have to slow down, feel tired all the time, or accept breathlessness as just part of life. Small, simple changes, the ones we talk about today, can genuinely make a difference in how you feel, how you move, and how much energy you have for the people and things you love. You don't need to change everything at once. Just pick one thing from today's video. Maybe it's sitting up a little straighter. Maybe it's opening a window while you cook. Maybe it's finally mentioning that breathlessness to your doctor instead of brushing it off one more time. One small step today can protect your lungs for years to come. Now, if this video helped you, even a little, please do two things for me. First, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this video reach more people who need to hear this, especially people who might be ignoring the exact same warning signs we talk about today. Second, and this one matters even more, share this video with someone you love, your parents, your grandparents, an older neighbor or friend, someone over 60 who climbs stairs a little slower than they used to, or gets tired a little quicker than they'd like to admit. This video might be the gentle nudge they need to finally pay attention to their health. Sometimes, the people we care about most are the last ones to take care of themselves, and a simple share from you could be what finally gets through to them. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Every single week, I share simple, practical health tips just like this one. No confusing medical terms, no fear tactics, just honest information that can genuinely improve your quality of life, one small step at a time. Because here's the truth. Your health, your energy, and your independence as you get older, they're worth protecting. And it doesn't take drastic changes. It just takes a little awareness and a little consistency. Before you leave, one more thing. In our next video, we're going to cover 3 simple exercises you can do right at home, no gym, no equipment, to help strengthen your lungs and breathe easier every single day. If today's video was helpful, that one is going to help you take real action. So make sure you don't miss it. Take care of yourself. Take a deep breath, and I'll see you in the next video.